Jewish community grows so rapidly over here from really the 13th and 14th centuries? למה הקהילה היהודית גדלה כל כך מהמאה ה-13 וה-14? And the answer is simple. You can never tell the story of a Jewish community in one place as if the one place is enough to tell the story. Because the community grows over here because it becomes impossible for Jews in Ashkenaz. After the Crusades moved through Europe, Ashkenaz, the area of the Rhineland, צרפת וגרמניה, האזורים האלה הופכים להיות בלתי אפשריים לחיים יהודים. Jews who come over here, by the way, when the Jewish community begins to grow, come from two places. From Ashkenaz, from the Rhineland, and from, where we often don't think of, from Spain. One of the interesting facts about Polish Jewry is there are Polish Jews that are Sfaradim. Many people think that the entire Polish Jewish community is Ashkenazi. אנשים חושבים שכל יהודי פולין הם אשכנזים, אבל יש פה גם מקורות ספרדים. The most famous Yiddish writer in Poland is Peretz. Yud Lamed Peretz. Where do you think the name Peretz comes from? היום אנחנו חושבים המרוקאי. ספרד. נכון, זה ספרד. ספרד, Spain. So what you have over here from the beginning is when things become bad for Jews in one place, it's like squeezing a bag. Okay, I'm thinking of squeezing a bag when you ice a cake. So it moves, and when things become bad for Jews in one place, Jews move to another place. So the real story of the Jews of Poland is a story over the centuries of good times, and the good times means tolerated. It doesn't mean equal. It means tolerated. And I will tell you, one of the things that's happened to me after over 40 years of life in Israel, being tolerated is not good enough. Okay? שרק סובלים אותי, זה לא מספיק לי. And the reality over here becomes the reality of Jews throughout Europe. That we are, because of the laws that are acted upon us in terms of what we're allowed to do, we end up playing certain roles in the economy. אנחנו בסוף, בגלל שאסור לנו לעסוק בכל מיני דברים, אנחנו הופכים להיות אנשי הכלכלה, המנהלים של החוות, המנהלים של האוצר, ולכן אנחנו הופכים להיות במצב מאוד מאוד בעייתי. Okay, we become the people who are involved in finance, in commerce, and in running the estates, and that makes us incredibly vulnerable.
That goes back to the early years with the formation of the church.
We haven't even begun to talk about the church ethics. The church, of course, forbids Christians to lend money for interest, and therefore we become the money lenders. No.
You can see. I can see. Just regular people who also want to see what.
So I want to, אני רציתי להתחיל פה עם כמה שאלות ולדבר קצת על האנדרטה הזאת, כי רובכם מכירים את האנדרטה, נכון? כי היא קיימת במקום אחר. יד ושם. There are two crucial differences, by the way. Crucial differences.
רגע, בלוחמי הגטאות היא לא קיימת?
לא, ביד ושם. We're going to talk about the two crucial differences in a moment, but אני רוצה פשוט להעמיד פה כמה שאלות. אני כתבתי אותם בעצם במה שקיבלתם, אבל אני אתחיל בעברית דווקא. כיצד מספרים את סיפור השואה? היכן מתחילים? תראה, למה אני כל כך התעקשתי להתחיל ביחד ולא עם צילום? כי אני חושב שאנחנו חייבים להתחיל לספר את הסיפור, אם אנחנו נהיה רציניים ב5 ימים האלה, יחד עם כמה שאלות. I think that you have to start together by asking a number of questions. And we're going to ask some difficult questions. I always believe, by the way, that how one begins a story, the first place one comes to tell a story, the first statement one makes is crucial. In great works of literature, in great movies, you look at the opening scene of great films, you look at the opening chapter of great books, there is a statement being made by the author or by the filmmaker what is going to be my central message? מה הולך להיות המסר המרכזי שלי, ואני כסופר או כבמאי סרטים, אני משתמש בדקות הראשונות או בפרק הראשון של הספר כדי להגיד משהו. ולכן רציתי לבוא לפה. That's why I wanted to come to over here. Later on we're going to ask the question, where do you end the story? How are we going to end our story after the days that we spent here? היכן נסיים? Why are we telling the story? למה בכלל מספרים את הסיפור? למה אנחנו טורחים לבוא לפה? האם רק כדי לזכור משהו, כדי להזכיר משהו, או כדי לשאול שאלות על קיומנו היום? Do we come and tell the story only to remember something? Or do we come and tell the story to try and make a statement about our lives today? That, by the way, is a big one. For me, one of the biggest ones. Because there will be people, and I am amongst them, who when I go to Yad Vashem and guide in Yad Vashem, I remind us when we stand at the avenue of the righteous amongst the nations, שאנחנו עומדים בכניסה ליד ושם, בחסידי אומות העולם, אז אני מזכיר לעצמנו שהיום מסביב העולם ממשיכים לקרות דברים איומים. Today, throughout the world, there are awful things happening, and the question is, do we have some additional level of responsibility because of what we've been through as a people? I want to say something about, to start with say something about this monument. To understand this monument, you have to know that when this was built, anybody know what year this was built? 1948. It opens in 1948. האנדרטה, פותחים פה את האנדרטה באופן רשמי ב-1948. When it was opened in 1948, there was nothing over here, nothing. None of these buildings existed at all around us. לא היה פה אף בניין. There was rubble everywhere. There was a prior monument over here, by the way, tiny little, sort of a disc on the ground.
Is this the actual ground of the Warsaw?
This, we are in the middle of the Warsaw Ghetto. A little bit later on today, we're going to, not now, but after we visit the museum, we're going to walk 100 yards. 100 yards from where we are now, and you'll see the bunker of Mila 18. This is mine, right? In 1948, the monument is built.
מה שאתה אומר זה כאילו פה באזור הזה, זה היה...
זה מרכז הגטו.
פה?
פה זה מרכז הגטו. Everything you see around here, all these buildings, כל הבניינים האלה, these are built after the war.
How mainstream
It'll give all those types of details inside. But the entire area you see over here, remember, 500,000 people. Okay, 500,000 people are living over here. Jewish people are living over here when the ghetto is at its height. 500,000 יהודים גרים פה, לא כולם אנשי ורשה, גם הובילו לפה יהודים נוספים מהסביבה. Okay, so when this is built...
היו מעל 50% מהאוכלוסייה בוורשה?
לא, הם היו שליש מהאוכלוסייה. שליש מהאוכלוסייה.
כן, you asked it because they said that the 800 killed and 400 Jews. But it was, I mean, that's his interpretation to how he was...
By the way, that's an important point that Naomi makes. You know, when you use the word killed,
Yeah, it's killing me.
it's a very complicated thing to use that single verb. רק המילה להרוג.
נהרגו.
או נהרגו. כי יש אנשים שנהרגו תוך כדי לחימה, יש אנשים שנהרגו בגלל הפצצות, ויש אנשים שנלקחו ונרצחו. אז השאלה באיזה מילה אתה משתמש כדי לתאר סוף חייו של מישהו, גם לזה יש משמעות. Language is so important. I will never forget being in Washington, D.C. at a summer camp and somebody saying that in Munich in 1972, 18 people lost their lives. And I said, excuse me? במינכן נהרגו 18 אנשים? הטרוריסטים והספורטאים באותו משפט עם אותה מילה נהרגו?
הם ביחד.
כאילו, זה אותו אקט?
By the way, I can ask you something. One of the things that those who are מכחישי שואה, the denial of the Holocaust, they use this word.
Yeah.
They said there wasn't Holocaust, there wasn't... People in war, people get killed, that's all.
So,
like he used the same word.
תפתחי ערוץ 10 בארץ, זה נשמע אותו דבר מה
Just
שהדברים
sorry,
שלנו.
what is the population of Warsaw? Not
So we can get to know, it was 3 million, 4 million people, and how many
So
Jews?
I think, and I will tell you that I'm not great at remembering all these numbers.
Yeah.
It'll all be inside. I think it's about 1.5 million, and if I'm wrong, I apologize.
So about a third were Jewish. So
But and the numbers might be a bit different, but you'll find out inside. But Rappaport builds this in 1948.
Which Rappaport from the
Nathan
time?
Rappaport. He's a famous sculptor. He's active, by the way. Not only he's active in America afterwards. When Rappaport builds this, he builds this, as you'll see, differently from in Israel. In Israel, we have the two pieces next to each other. Hugely important, the fact that it's different. בארץ, מי שביקר ביד ושם יודע ששני הצדדים הם בעצם אחד ליד השני. פה זה בצדדים שונים. יש גם שינוי נוסף. There's another difference. Is anybody who knows the monument in Yad Vashem can tell me what the difference is over here between this one and the copy in Yad Vashem? There's a fascinating difference.
משהו בעיניים של הזה,
אני חושב
נכון?
שהיו שם גם ילדים.
לא.
The copy of this, Yad Vashem,
it's not a copy.
This is the original.
יש ילדים.
לא, הילדים זה בצד השני.
So this is the original?
This is the
This is
original.
the original.
Anyway, there's a fascinating difference over here. I think it's such a wonderful decision made at Yad Vashem. יש פה הבדל אחד קטן. ביד ושם, ותשימו לב פעם הבאה שתהיו, לא רואים את השד.
את מה?
את השד של האישה.
לא זה.
Her breast is exposed.
That's what I said, naked woman.
Her breast is exposed. Now, I'm generally opposed to censorship, but in this one case, I'm in favor of censorship. Why do you think Yad Vashem made the decision to cover the breast?
Not even.
Because of the religious people.
But what because of the religious people?
Because the Haredim and the Avalil...
No. The central ceremony, הטקס המרכזי של יום השואה והגבורה הוא מולו. ואמרו אנשי יד ושם, יש ניצולים דתיים. באמת, הם חייבים עוד פעם לשאול את עצמם האם הם יכולים לשבת בטקס המרכזי? Do they have to really ask themselves, can we sit in the central ceremony? And the decision was made. It is more important for them to feel comfortable when they come to the central ceremony than to stay true to the original piece of work by Rappaport, and the breast is covered. It's a fascinating decision, by the way. Yad Vashem, over the years, has made extraordinary decisions, complicated moral decisions. You know, when we go to Schindler's factory, when Schindler was nominated to be a righteous amongst the nations, he was already invited to the ceremony, and at Yad Vashem they refused to make him one of the righteous amongst the nations. Because he had earned money out of what he was doing. And afterwards, only a couple of years afterwards, when the Vada, the committee that decides who the Chasidei Umot HaOlam had changed, and there was a new Shofet Elyon from the High Court of Israel sitting on it, did they actually make Schindler one of the people who would be considered righteous among the nations? I think that the decision isn't so important. What I think is important is the conversation. ההחלטה, אני לא חושב שהיא מה שחשובה, אני חושב שהשיח סביב אותם ההחלטות זה שיח מדהים. עכשיו, what is the name of the day that we have every year to remember the Holocaust? Now, most people from outside of Israel who don't know much about the Shoah always say Yom HaShoah. Okay? We know that the real name, אנחנו יודעים שהשם האמיתי הוא יום השואה והגבורה. יום הזיכרון, נכון.
That's a very important.
Now, why is it so important, the difference in Israel and over here? You are seeing what used to be known as Gvura.
What's Quran?
Heroism. Heroism. This is what we used to define as heroism. Okay? In the Israeli lexicon, בארץ, שאנחנו הגדרנו גבורה, אנחנו הגדרנו את הצד הזה כגבורה. אני תמיד אומר, דרך אגב, שאני לא מכיר הרבה יהודים עם, איך אומרים אבס בעברית?
Abs.
איך אומרים אבס?
Shurim.
שירי בטן, נכון? אני לא מכיר הרבה יהודים שבנויים כמו הדמות הזאת של מרדכי
אני
לוי.
לא דיברתי
קוראים
expression
לזה
of קדושת
X-Specs.
השם.
פרה
אתה יודע איך קוראים לזה? Six packs.
sick back. Now, that is what we used to call heroism. In Israel, since I believe two events in the modern history, we have now related to the other side also as having some level of heroism. We'll walk over there in just one moment. Heroism, there were two crucial events. Would anyone like to try and suggest what the two crucial events were which change our understanding of what heroism? מה היו שני האירועים ההיסטוריים אחרי השואה שמאוד השפיעו, במיוחד בארץ, על ההבנה שלנו מה זה גבורה?
טבי.
משפט אייכמן. The Eichmann trial is the first one. Why the Eichmann trial? למה?
שאז בפעם הראשונה אתה התמודדת עם נאציזם ברמה משפטית.
נכון, ולא רק זה, פעם הראשונה ששמענו עדויות על במה. That was the first time in the Eichmann trial where people actually told their stories, gave testimony. And then we understood that heroism is much broader. When is the second time in Israeli history? Something that happens in Israel that changes our understanding of heroism and מה זה גבורה. In 1973, in Milchemet Yom Kippur, when the soldiers were told not to surrender whatever happens, and they surrendered. And what happens afterwards? They come back alive. People who've been in Egypt and in Syria, in prison, come back alive. הם חוזרים חיים. And when they return, we're delighted. אנחנו שמחים. And we begin to understand that being a hero is much more complex than this side. Let me take you to the other side now to continue the story of heroism, another 5 minutes, and then we'll head off inside to our guide.